Our Gen Con coverage is brought to you by Hit Point Press. From animated spell and tarot cards to their breathtaking Humblewood campaign setting and adventure to the award-winning series The Big Bads, Hit Point Press is your one-stop shop for amazing 5e content. Check out our links below for all the gaming goodness. We're here at the Chaosium booth here with Brian Holland, the marketing director for Chaosium. Did I say that right? Marketing director?
Marketing director for Chaosium. Thanks for stopping by, guys.
I love it. Tell us what's going on here at your booth this year.
Oh, there is so much stuff. So, I mean, first of all, we've got two new huge releases for Runequest. That's Orlanth right behind me, the big god. So we've got the Cults of Runequest, which are two new books. There's going to be like 7 of them. There's one for each Runequest pantheon. And Runequest is just that Bronze Age fantasy game. The gods are all real and everyone can use magic, and essentially what is to use some more common parlance, your character class is essentially determined by the cult you belong to. So these books we're bringing out, there's 19 new cults in one, there's 14 new cults in another. These are just the first 2. They're essentially books of new character classes. So they've been actually selling even better than I thought they would be, because it just seems like now that people have an entryway into RuneQuest as a player, we sorted GMs out for a while. There's heaps of GM content, but if you just want to play, you can pick up the core book. You can be like, oh, I'm a lightning god guy. That's me. And you can pick up the Lightbringers book. You've got all your different cults in there, and you're good to go. So I think that's one of the reasons it's been selling so well this Gen Con.
It is one of the words I've been hearing all around the room here is RuneQuest. Everybody's very excited about it.
Yeah. So I mean, RuneQuest has been around. I think it's only 3 years younger than. So wait, 3 years younger than D&D. So people don't realize it's one of the formative games, and the D100 system that a lot of people know, the roll low on a D100 to determine success, which you actually see in a lot of games. It was originally designed by Steve Perrin and co. Older than me, 40, nearly 50 years ago, for RuneQuest. And if you've played Call of Cthulhu, it's the same system. If you've played Rivers of London or Pendragon, which have also launched this con, it's the same system. That's the other thing we've got coming out right now. Am I talking too much?
No, you're perfect. Go for it. No, we're here for it.
We've got out is BRP, which is the basic role-playing universal game engine. That is so the D100 engine I've just described in a book by itself with no setting. So what is in there, though, information on how to apply this rule set to any setting that you have. So that might be a homebrew thing. You might want to do some 60s inspired sci-fi, some 1800s Western. You might want to do your own fantasy, your own like modern day anything. You might even just have a book or a TV show that you like that doesn't have an existing role-playing game, and you want to turn that into a role-playing game in the comfort of your own home. You can do that. BRP is also under the Orc license, so if you use BRP to create your own role-playing game and sell your own game, you can do that free of charge.
That's excellent. Have you seen it being applied yet? Any games that you've heard about that out there?
Well, I mean, apart from a lot of our games, BRP is only just launched now. So we're really excited to see what people come up with it, really.
Excellent. Is that all these going to be available online? Are they currently available right now?
Yeah, so BRP, you can already get the PDF, and you should be able to get the hardcover very, very soon. But like anything, if you buy from chaosium.com, if you buy the PDF, because PDFs are cheaper, if you want to check it out, you can buy the PDF, and what you'll get is a coupon code to get the value of that PDF off the hardcover if you decide you want to get the hardcover. So you can actually check it out. If you ever buy things from us here at Gen Con or any convention too, you'll get a receipt that tells you how to get your PDFs for free. So you can get all that stuff. RuneQuest is the Cults of RuneQuest books that I've been talking about. There's a pre-release at Gen Con this weekend, but everyone else in the world can get them August 17. So I'm not sure when this is going up. Hopefully this will be very soon when you see it. Or maybe it already happened. Who knows?
It largely depends on how much sleep I get tonight.
Okay.
And how much energy I have tomorrow to edit. So we're going to do our very best. Any Call of Cthulhu news?
There's all the Call of Cthulhu stuff. Now, people have already seen the Horror and the Orient Express board game. That's probably the biggest Call of Cthulhu news we've got going on right now.
It depends which video gets edited first, but possibly.
Right. Well, that's probably the biggest thing. We're demoing the Horror and the Orient Express board game prototype. That's going to Kickstarter in, I believe, early 2024 for a 2025 release. For those old school, well, not even old school, it's not that long, but the Horror on the Orient Express campaign for Call of Cthulhu is lauded as one of the most popular campaigns ever written. And you can get that now in board game form. So that's the biggest thing we've got going for Call of Cthulhu this week. Obviously, the most recent releases we've got here are Nameless Horrors, which is a collection of Call of Cthulhu scenarios that span from 1920 all the way up to modern day, and Regency Cthulhu, which I like to call Bridgerton Cthulhu, which is role-playing Cthulhu mythos horrors in the time of Jane Austen. So they're our most recent things. And we got some stuff coming out in Halloween that you should keep out for too. But yeah, that's
If people are wanting to get into Call of Cthulhu for the very first time, how do you recommend they jump on board?
Well, like for any of our games, Call of Cthulhu has a starter set. It is very reasonably priced, particularly here at Gen Con, but you can get it online at your favorite local game store. That has everything you need to start playing, a series of adventures, pre-generated characters, a suite of full-color handouts, which are very important in Call of Cthulhu in particular. There's maps, and the most important thing that all our starter sets come with is a solo adventure, which is a choose-your-own-adventure type deal that teaches you to play the game as you play it. So you can crack it open, don't know anything, you've got the dice that it comes with, and you start reading and you start playing. And in the case of the Call of Cthulhu starter set, it also teaches you how to create a character. So
there's no better way to learn than to play.
Correct. Indeed.
That's awesome. Anything else here that you want to tell us about? Anything that you're excited about?
Other than, like, Pendragon's the other big one. Does anyone know who King Arthur is? Think of a knight in King Arthur's court. Anything at all. If anything conjures up when I say a knight, you already can know plenty to play Pendragon. Pendragon was the late great Greg Stafford, who's a visionary game designer, founder of Chaosium. He's passed away 5 years ago already. He considered Pendragon to be his magnum opus. It is still our roll low system. The biggest thing about Pendragon is, yes, everyone plays a knight. The question is, what kind of knight will you become? There is a very robust personality system. If you've played video games similar to like Mass Effect or Dragon Age, where there's a morality system, think about that, but on about 8 different binaries for your personality traits, and the game really shines in the campaign because you will play over the course of generations. Your characters will grow, they will age, they'll get married, they'll have children, they will die either by the sword or by old age, and then you will take up mantle as their children and continue to play through the years. So we have the starter set for that available, which has all those things I talked about the starter sets before. Right now, it's also online.
Excellent. That sounds like a lot of fun. What was that video game that came out recently that allowed you to kind of do a similar thing, like a dynasty through the European ages?
Crusader Kings 3?
Yeah, that's the
Good
one.
Friends of Paradox.
Yeah, that one just makes me think of that, and like having a role-playing.
That's what it is.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
One more question for you before we wrap up. The greatest thing about Gen Con is getting to interact with the fans, getting to interact with the people who really love playing your games. Have you had any fan interactions, moments that stand out to you that just like, this is a lot of work, but just hearing these stories makes you feel like it's all been worth it?
Honestly, it's when people come up and they talk to you about, like a book you worked on, how they used it in their home game, or there's something they thought was really cool, they extrapolated into a moment that they remember with their fans. That's when it's like, that's really cool. Because it's like, well, sometimes it's something you might not have even thought about. Like this, like, I wrote an extra paragraph in here just because, I had to expand that section, and there's some words in there that inspired someone to like spin that off and do a whole campaign. You're like, well, that's really cool. It's like collaborative storytelling is all about, and like it's out of the Chaosium comes beauty and order and lovely stories for everybody and good gaming memories. So.
Yeah. I love how when people tell stories about their characters and adventures, they always start off by saying, my character did this, and then as they tell the story, it changes into, and then we went down into, and it's their memories.
No one's playing solo, unless you're playing one of our pre-written solo adventures, but that's
and
okay.
It's not even their third party, it's not even their characters, it becomes them doing it.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for everything you do, for talking to us today. I'm super excited. I haven't gotten to play a lot of Chaosium games yet, and so it's time for me to branch out.
As soon as we finish this, you're coming into the booth with me and we're looking at some stuff. That's what we're doing.
Sweet, let's get it. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Thanks, folks.
Stay tuned to the Gallant Goblin for the latest from Gen Con 2023. Until next time, stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I will see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.